Good morning, guys. It looks like I can't see you, but I hope you can all hear me. My name is Oupa Pilane. I'm the co-vice chairperson of SATSA. It really gives me a great pleasure. And I feel humbled that I am joining in this session with our greatest and most awesome recipients who are our learners in this program. I'm really excited. I just want to take this opportunity to thank everyone that has made this session possible, and especially our aid committee at SATSA, because our intention really is to be able to grow this cake of tourism and introduce it as a great opportunity to our learners. You are entering into a very exciting space, a space that makes you feel like when you are going to work, you are actually going on holiday. And that is one of the things that I like about tourism. I have found out that each time I go to work, it is so exciting that there's so many people that I get to come across. There's so many people that I get to meet, chat, and learn more about where they come from, about their cultures, their interests. And I think one of the greatest things that we need to be able to do as learners is that we should be able to embrace everyone, irrespective of color, irrespective of sex, irrespective of religious orientation, because ours in this industry is to create memories for those people that come to us. And these memories, they must make sure that they are worth repeating, because we want them to come and experience our beautiful country. And I really would like to welcome you guys all, and hope that as we go along with this session, you definitely have something to take home with. And I am hoping that, God willing, we will meet in person. And I want you, as you study and getting to know this tourism industry, at the back of your mind, I want you to tell yourselves that you are not only going to be employees in this sector, but you want to own products. We want as many of you to own products. This sector provides huge opportunities, and I want you as young people to be able to assist us in getting into the technology space, because most of us who are product owners in this industry, most of us are a bit old and really not savvy in tech. And therefore, we want to really rely on you, young people of this country, to bring this industry into the mainstream technology center, so that people can be able to access it as easily as they possibly can. So with those many words, I am quite excited, and I hope that you guys are equally excited as myself, and that we will definitely have a great session this morning. And I really wish that God protect you in this COVID, and that you also take all the necessary precautions to protect yourselves, guys. And a happy, great session this morning. Thank you.
Thank you very much to Oupa for that very warm welcome to our learners joining us from schools in Knysna. Welcome this morning. Welcome to the learners joining us from Gqeberha this morning. We are so excited for the program ahead. Thank you very much, Oupa, for that warm welcome. I will now hand over to Ms. Tracy Daniels, who is from the UJ, University of Joburg School and Hospitality and Tourism, who will be speaking to us about how to qualify for tourism studies and what qualifications are available for young people. Tracy, over to you.
Morning, Paka. Thank you so much for having me here today. I'll put my video on just for a minute so that perhaps you can, I can't do that. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you. As Paka mentioned, I am from the University of Johannesburg School of Tourism and Hospitality, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how to go about if you would like to study tourism or hospitality once you have finished with your schooling career. So that there is a picture of our university, the School of Tourism and Hospitality. It's located in Auckland Park in Johannesburg. You can see it's a wonderful, beautiful facility. We have an operational restaurant where we invite people to come for lunch and where our students have the chance to work. It's a real state-of-the-art facility and a privilege for our students to study there. So who are we? We are a multicultural and a dynamic university that's located in Johannesburg, and we offer world-class and internationally recognized programs in tourism and hospitality. We have a very unique position in the country and internationally, and we are also home of the very popular Kerzner at UJ commercial unit, which is what you see on the right there, which is where we host events, we host conferences, parties, and we have an operational restaurant in which our students work to gain experience. The SDH has very strong links to the tourism and hospitality industries, and that's because we have past pupils who have graduated with our qualifications who have now become major role players in the tourism and hospitality industries. We also pride ourselves on developing students to become problem solvers and critical thinkers in the tourism and hospitality industries. And the values that we instill in our students are to have imagination and to start conversations, to regenerate the industry, and to do this all on the best ethical foundations possible. So in the world, on the entire planet, the SDH is ranked 18th in terms of the Shanghai rankings. That means we are the 18th best school of tourism and hospitality on the planet. And we are also the #1 school of tourism and hospitality on the African continent. So it's a real privilege to study, and we pride ourselves on these rankings. So if you want to study tourism and hospitality, what can you come and study at the STH? Firstly, we have diploma programs. We have a diploma in food and beverage operations, and then we also have a diploma in tourism management. Those diplomas are for 3 years. Then we also have bachelor's degrees. We have a bachelor degree in hospitality management and also a bachelor's degree in tourism and development management. So whether you choose the diploma or the bachelor's degree really depends on what you would like your focus area to be. If you are somebody who likes to be in the kitchen, you like cooking, you like going out to restaurants, then perhaps food and beverage operations is the best choice for you. The diplomas are also more practical. So within your diploma, you will do work integrated learning, which is work experience, so that you have the chance to have some work experience before you leave us. Whereas in the bachelor's degree, the degree is far more academic and far less practical. So if you would like to become a lecturer, or if you would like to become a teacher, then perhaps the bachelor's degree is the better route for you. Also, the entry requirements into the diplomas and to the bachelor's degrees are quite different. And let me tell you a little bit more about that. So for the diploma courses, which are food and beverage operations and tourism management, your minimum APS needs to be a 22 with maths or a 24 with maths lit. You need to get a 4 for English, which means you need to get above 60%, you need to get a 3 for maths, or you need to get a 5 for maths lit. So if you choose food and beverage operations, a lot of the career options that our students end up going into is that they work in events as events coordinators or caterers. They work for airlines, they work on cruise liners and travel the world working in the kitchens, or they work in various hospitality management positions. For our students who study tourism management, you can really get a job in any sphere of the tourism or the hospitality industry. So whether you would like to become a tour guide, whether you'd like to go in destination marketing, work for an airline, work in for a tour operator, all of those are possible with our diploma in tourism management. So let's look at the bachelor's degrees. You'll see that the entry requirements are slightly higher. So you need a 26 with maths or 28 with maths lit. You need a 5 for English, a 4 for maths, and a 6 for maths lit. And the career options also allow you to work in really any sphere of tourism and hospitality. And as I mentioned with the bachelor's degrees, it gives you access to more academic work if that is what you think you would like to go into in terms of your career. So looking at the options, why should you consider studying tourism and hospitality? I know that we see in the news constantly what COVID-19 is doing to the industry, but it is still an exciting and wonderful career opportunity for you. It gives you the chance to join an industry that is dynamic and exciting, and that despite what we hear in the news is still growing. It allows you to be creative. For many of my previous students who have graduated, they have wonderful opportunities to travel the world in their work. The skills that you learn when you study tourism and hospitality are those that in the future you can take into many other industries. And what's also wonderful is there are no age barriers. You can come and study tourism and hospitality at no matter what age you are and still have a successful career. Tourism and hospitality gives us the chance to work in the field. So it's not where if you don't like sitting at a desk from 9 to 5 every single day in an office, then this career could give you opportunities to work in the field. You could be a field guide, taking tourists out on tours every day, or planning different events every day. And every day is different. You never get bored. You can start a career without limits, a career that can keep changing for the rest of your life and can allow you to do as many different things as you like. And in the end, this career would help you to start a wonderful new adventure. So if you choose to study tourism and hospitality, why should you study with us at the STH? Well, as I mentioned, we are #1 on the African continent, and that says number 20, but we're now number 18 globally. We have a very strong heritage, and our School of Tourism and Hospitality dates back to 1969, long before all of you were born. We also allow for lifelong learning. So once you have finished your first qualification, that doesn't mean you have to stop. You can continue studying with us for an honors degree, a master's degree, a PhD for the rest of your life. We have a very good international network and international partnerships, which could allow you to work with other universities across the world, and you will have lecturers from all different areas of the world who can give their different perspectives and share their experiences with you. We have wonderful partnerships in the local and international tourism and hospitality industries. And we also work very closely with the local community in Joburg and in the rest of South Africa. And all of our modules or all of our qualifications include service learning, which is where we give back to the local community. We have a very good alumni network, that is all of our past pupils who have graduated before, who still come back to the university and want to work with our students and work with us. We have short learning programs, perhaps those of you who don't want to study for 3 years but want to do something shorter. And also our graduates are recognized worldwide for their skills, for their competencies, and for their success in the industry. And so this is a chance for you to join that exciting group of graduates. So if you have any more questions, please feel free to take down my email address. It's at the bottom there, tracyd@uj.ac.za, and I'm happy to answer any of your questions or chat with you more about a potential after-school study in tourism and hospitality. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope that that has given you some clarity on potentially studying tourism and hospitality once you finish school. Thank you very much.
Wow, 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 Tracy. Thank you for that really great presentation. That got me so excited. I kind of wished I was back in high school and had the opportunity to go and study at the STH. Heini and Mandisa, are you able to let us know, please, if there's any questions from the learners in Knysna and in Gqeberha about the opportunities that are available to them at the University of Johannesburg School of Hospitality and Tourism?
Thank you so much, Paka. We're all good, all set.
Fantastic.
Good
Okay,
morning, Paka.
good morning, Mandisa. Mandisa, do we have questions from the learners in Gqeberha?
Good morning, Paka. Morning. Thank you so much for that presentation. No questions as yet, Paka. Thank you.
Okay, great stuff. Very exciting, team. Thank you very much again to Tracy for that really wonderful presentation, looking at the opportunities for young people who are just finishing off high school in terms of your guys' next steps there. I hope that has given you a lot to think about. I will now present to you on heritage and culture and the opportunities for youth in South Africa's tourism. My name is Phakamile Hlazo, and I'm the founder of, a tour operator, what started off as a tour operator in South Africa's tourism industry, where we were focusing on helping young people really understand and explore the country, our own country, South Africa, as well as neighboring countries next to us, because we live in one of the most beautiful countries in the world, and not a lot of people have been exposed to the opportunities that our country offers us. Beyond just South Africans, local South Africans, when we started in 2016, we offered these curated experiences that really appeal to young people. And we realized very quickly that these experiences appeal to young South Africans, but definitely would also appeal to millennials all over the world. And so this is a little picture of myself. This was at a conference in Bangkok in 2019, where I was out there to show the world that there's more to the African continent, there's more to South Africa for them to come and see and do other than safaris. I do have a little video that I'd prepared there for you, but it doesn't seem like the video is planning on working today, so we will move on. 67% of millennial UK travelers rate an authentic culture as the most important part of a travel experience. I know that, especially as tourism learners, you guys are learning a lot of things in theory around the tourism industry and the opportunities in hospitality, etc. However, as Butopa has said in his introduction, the world is changing very quickly, accelerated by digital technologies and innovation. And so over the last 10 years, where traditionally the international travel and tourism market that we were reaching out for as far as South Africa or as far as the African continent was very much about safaris, right? And it was very much, and all over the world historically has been very much about accommodation and travel in terms of flights or vehicles or getting around from A to B. But increasingly, with the younger markets coming up, an authentic culture is increasingly becoming very, very important. And so what does this mean for us? I think let's look at the definition of heritage first, because heritage is defined as something that is transmitted by or acquired from a predecessor. So this is our legacy as young South Africans, right? And cultural heritage is an expression of the ways of living developed by a community and passed on from generation to generation, including our customs, our practices, places, objectives, objects, sorry, artistic expressions and values. And so, what are the opportunities for youth in South Africa's cultural heritage? And again, I mentioned that his focus in travel and tourism has always been on accommodation and travel transport. However, as of 2016, the tourism attractions market was actually $105 billion US. All over the world, young people in destinations are finding opportunities for themselves in creating opportunities
Hello, everyone. It just seems like Paka has a bit of connection issues there. I'm sure she'll log on shortly again. Prince, do you maybe want to go forward with your presentation so long? We'll have Paka back in a second.
Yep, I think I could do so. Let me just start my video here. All right. Thank you. Can I go ahead?
Yes, we can hear you clearly. Thanks, Prince. We'll see when
Awesome.
Paka comes back on, but just finish your one.
All right, fantastic. No, once again, a very warm welcome to everyone watching across South Africa. I know there are some also watching from abroad, but my name to start off is Prince Chirwa. I am a hotelier by profession, a young hotelier. I know this is Youth Month, so as I'm speaking to all those students who are watching, I just want you to know that I'm one of you as a youth who happens to been so privileged and also been exposed to the hospitality industry and tourism at large. So yeah, so I am basically based or working for a company called the Red Carnation Hotel Group within South Africa. It's an international company. Our head offices are based in London. And to speak about more about that is that I'm based in Cape Town at a beautiful 5-star hotel at the 12 Apostles Hotel and Spa. So I know we're talking about hospitality, we're talking about tourism, we're talking about how you could get into the industry. And as a young professional, I think one of the first questions you would have to me to say, how did you make it? How did you get into the tourism or hospitality industry? I think I also had a lot of questions. I was just looking at a little bit of my history. It's actually been over just this year. It's 11 years exactly since I graduated from high school. So it's not too long. It's just over 10 years. And the last time I actually, I got my first hospitality qualification, which was a national diploma, was 7 years ago. So again, under 10 years when I graduated with my first qualification. So that's why I say that I truly understand what questions you have or what you're going through, especially now during this time of the pandemic. There's a lot of question as to what is the security, job security in getting into the hospitality or travel industry. Listen, you are not missing out or losing out anything. I understand that there is the pandemic, but let that not stop you from entering the hospitality or tourism industry. So I'm going to speak about how you can find your place in hospitality or tourism, right? So we are in a beautiful country. South Africa is so blessed that if you look at our country, we are split in 9 provinces. If I have to take that, there's different cultures, there's different languages, there's different experiences that you will find within these 9 provinces. I'm very fortunate that I've been in most of those provinces, and I can tell you every time I go to a different province, I have to learn something new. And that's where tourism comes in. That's where hospitality comes in, and that's where you come in. All we need, and I will stress this over and over again, is your passion. A lot of people will say that, but I'm not a hotelier, or I am not in tourism, or I don't see myself in tourism. No, we are all in tourism. Right now, the borders, some of them are shut for certain countries, they cannot come in. But interesting enough, when we were in lockdown has taught us, and COVID-19 has taught us that we actually tourism starts within ourselves. Tourism, as you are sitting there, you are a young person who is seeking that opportunity to get into this industry. It starts with you. Now, the question is how? We need to hear all about you. Who are you? What culture are you from? What language do you speak? And what foods do you eat? And that's hospitality, that's tourism. As long as you can share that with your local friends, your family, those who are traveling all over the world, that is hospitality, that is tourism. It means you are sharing the experience and you are sharing what South Africa is all about. So as a young person, don't be limited to saying that. I know the tradition of hospitality teaches us that you have to go to a university, teaches us that you have to go to a college, teaches us that you have to be in a suit like myself. That is the look that people are looking at. But tourism and hospitality has changed, especially in the 10 years that I've been studying tourism and hospitality. As a qualified hotelier, I can tell you right now that tourism and hospitality is not just about looking fancy, having the suit and the tie on. With some people, you see them wearing gloves. That is not what we talk about. We talk about the authentic service, the authentic experience that you are sharing with another person. So I want to say to you, to encourage that, how can you find your place in hospitality? It all begins with, I always share this story. How I found myself in hospitality is, I come from a background where we love music, we love food, we love to travel, we love experiencing different languages. That's where it starts. As soon as you can find what you're passionate about, I love music. Besides from working in hotels, I love music. And anything that is of music, regardless of what language it is, it attracts me. And, I want to share with all the young professionals that will be coming out of this talk, and soon you will become hoteliers or professional tour guides or tour operators. There's a lot of opportunities, right? All I want to encourage you is that you can find yourself in tourism, you can find yourself in hospitality by sharing who you are. A lot of especially the international guests, there's a shift from just coming to South Africa, coming to Cape Town. Oh, I want to go see Robben Island, I want to go see Table Mountain, I want to go see the winelands. They are moving away from that. They want to know, what is South Africa all about? And we've got so much to offer. If I have to say, like, for example, in Soweto, Soweto has so much to offer, from the history side to how it has evolved over the years, and especially where our former leaders used to stay. A lot of people are just drawn by that. In Cape Town, you've got a place like Umzoli, where it's all about chisanyama. Those who know chisanyama is where we braai our meats, and a lot of people go there for a good drink, braai, and it's all about meat, music. That's hospitality, that's tourism. So I want to ask you a question. As you are still sitting there, I'm speaking to the students right now. If you are coming from South Africa, you can, and there is a place for you in hospitality. There is a place for you in tourism. What we really need right now is authentic experience. It's authentic service. It's authentic exposure to saying that I am either a Xhosa speaking person. This is my culture. These are the foods that we eat. And then it starts from there. The rest now is this where you go to university, you can get to learn different skills. Like, for example, I went to do my national diploma at Cape Town International Hotel School. So I did some experiences there. I went to Cape Town Hotel School also. That's where I based my main studies. And I did my national diploma. I did my degrees there. And then from there, I grew. The rest, guys, it's all about you. What you give in this industry, that's what you become. All right. So your passion really, it starts with you. It's not about how many degrees you have, how many qualifications you have. The beauty about hospitality is genuine experience. If you can offer that to anyone, you'll be one amazing hotelier, one amazing tour operator, and also within the tourism and hospitality industry, you will grow like there is no limits actually. So I want to say also to say that what are the beauties, or what are the gems that you can tap into? I have to say that the beauty about tourism and hospitality is that it gives you the opportunity to travel if you haven't traveled before. And let's not look at just international. I've also had the privilege to travel within most of the major cities within South Africa. I've seen the beauty of Durban, Johannesburg. I've been in the Free State side. And I can tell you, every single province, every single city that I've visited, the cultures are different, the food is different, the lifestyle is different. And as you experience this, it just tells you how beautiful South Africa is. But when you go to international also, you get to see the other side, where they also have their own traditions and all of that. So I want to say that, guys, you have to, as students, you have to have an open mind. If you want to come into tourism, if you want to come into hospitality, it's not just about getting the qualifications and going into a hotel. Don't restrict yourself into that. There are different career options or avenues that you can go into, right? So if I can tap into that, how you can find your place in hospitality and tourism is that if you're a food lover, there's just so many opportunities, okay? The basic ones, no, most people would say, I want to become a chef, and it ends there. No, if you are, let's say, a food lover, there's a lot of things to a list of things that you could choose from. For example, you have restaurants. In those restaurants, you have chefs. You have managers within those restaurants. Now, I've seen the hospitality industry evolve over the years. We have now opportunities where companies are creating positions. For example, we've seen the booming of the wine industry and the sommeliers, great sommeliers coming out of South Africa who are specialized just in wine. We have mixologists, something that I never knew that there could be a mixologist. So a mixologist is someone who maybe is specializing just in drinks. So this is where I'm trying to enlighten you to say that don't limit yourself to just see hospitality or tourism in just one angle. Hospitality and tourism offers a lot of opportunities. I've just spoken about food. You can become a chef, you can become like a professional cook, you can become a sommelier who specializes in wine, you can become a mixologist. If you look at the other side, you have the lodges. I heard someone speaking about lodges. This is where you just so focus on safaris. If you're a person who loves the wildlife, you can go into that avenue. Like you go into, like myself, I'm in the 5-star elite hotels. That's me, that's what I like. But within those 5 stars, you've got beautiful restaurants, you've got beautiful spas that you could go into. Those who want to go into the beauty and therapy side of things, there's the spa side of things. If you look into the international aspect, we've got what we call international concierge. Concierge is a place where a lot of people are now going into. If you like selling things, if you like basically sharing experiences with your guests. So all I want to say is that there is quite a lot to do. I could go on and on and on. And speaking to young South Africans, I want to end off by saying that everyone is within tourism. And there is an opportunity, and especially now, a huge opportunity within South Africa for you to grow. And all we're seeking for is young hoteliers, young tour operators, young tour guides, anyone who can come with a new innovative way. Technology, yes, is taking place. There's hotels now that have robots in hotels. All I want to say is that don't limit yourself. Don't box yourself in this particular box where you just think that I'm a hotelier, or hospitality is just being a chef or being that manager. No, it doesn't end it. There are positions, just like myself, there was a position created for me called the guest experience manager. And all that I do is to make sure that my guests in the hotel are having a fantastic experience. If it means me going for a run with them or a jog with them in the morning, so be it. That's my job. And you'll be surprised that these positions are actually created, and that's where the authentic service comes in. So guys, I believe that South Africa is still growing and there's still a lot to do. Let us move away from the traditional hospitality or the traditional way of thinking about how you can tap into hospitality. But let us have an open mind, and we want to hear, are you a Sotho speaking, Zulu speaking? Bring your cultures, bring your experiences, showcase South Africa from a different angle. Get away from the traditional way of showing or thinking this is tourism. Tourism is within you. All we want is you exposing your culture, showcasing where you're coming from, and it starts from there. And soon you will see yourself becoming that hotelier. Soon you'll be becoming that big tour operators that is inviting our international guests. And this is a beautiful country. And I just want to say that I'm here to also I'm campaigning to also getting as many students, young, old, all of us, let us come together. Let us showcase this beautiful country called South Africa. And I want to thank you for joining us today. And you could look me up. It's Prince Chirwa. That's my name. You will get, I'm sure you will get all our details, or whoever's speaking here. I'm Prince Chirwa, based in Cape Town. And I just love to share my experiences with the world. And I want to encourage you that don't be limited. Don't be limited to someone telling you that you have to have a particular qualification, or that must not stop you. If you don't have a qualification, we still need to hear your experiences, expose your experiences, expose your country. And yeah, so I just want to thank you for having me on this talk this morning. And I can't wait to having those future hoteliers, those future managers, and even owners. We really need to showcase South Africa and bring it to the next level when it comes to tourism. So thank you for having me. I think I will end there. And to my young youth and fellow youths, I just want to say that South Africa's got a lot of opportunities. Let us showcase it. Let us bring our cultures on board. And soon you will see that we will still be ranked as the elites of the elites when it comes to experiences. 11 languages, 9 provinces. There's too much to offer. So thank you for having me. That's where I will end today, and I look forward to seeing some of you arise to becoming a hotelier in the hospitality industry. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Prince. And I think it was serendipitous that you actually, my network messed with me there, because then you've now presented the view from the hotelier perspective, which is fantastic. Please, can you confirm, guys, that you can hear me better now, that you can see my screen?
Yes, Paka, we can see you. Thank you so much. Welcome back.
Fantastic. Thank you, Heini. Okay, so fantastic. So, as I was saying, the tours and attractions market as of 2016 was valued at 135 billion US dollars, right? And so what are the opportunities for young South Africans in offering cultural and heritage experiences and creating new tourism products for this growing tours and attractions market? The first one that Prince has also touched on is food, right? And with food, we're looking at what are one of my favorite foods, for example, as a Zulu person growing up, was amagwinya. Wherever I go in South Africa, I look for amagwinya to this day, you know. And one of my favorite foods from Cape Town is the Gatsby. I've never had a Gatsby anywhere in South Africa or anywhere in the world as great as the ones that I get when I'm in Cape Town, right? In Soweto introduced me to ikota, you know. So ikota is the bread with the cheese and the Vienna and something called a special. Nobody knows what the special is, but it's in there and it's delicious, right? So these are all examples of authentic South African foods that you as a young person in your area, you can start thinking about what is unique. What is something that mom makes at home that I actually haven't had at a friend's house? Maybe I can start making those for my friends and maybe then extend it to other people, start offering it to people who visit our community, because this is something that we've identified as being unique as a food experience or a unique The next one is music. So over the period of the lockdown, the entire world came to love the song Jerusalema by Master KG. Master KG is a young man based in Pretoria in South Africa, but his song Jerusalema was all over the world. People in Italy were dancing to that song, right? People in America were dancing to that song. People in Angola were dancing to that song. South African music is very popular. Amapiano right now is a global trend, right? So how do we as young South Africans start capturing this and putting it as and creating new tourism products for ourselves to start enjoying different parts of the country and different music elements that are coming through from different parts of the country? Same with dance. The dance culture that exists in KZN is very different to the dance culture in Pitori, is very different to the dance culture in Cape Town, is very different to the dance culture in Johannesburg. And so again, we have an opportunity to start creating experiences around what makes us unique. Find what makes our local dance culture unique and package that as an experience for other young people when they're coming to visit your city, when they're coming to visit your province, to start experiencing. The next one is places. Places goes very well with history. So South Africa has a huge opportunity to tap into all of the countries, all of the individuals who were supporting us when we were fighting for our freedom during apartheid. South Africa had the world's attention. There's no country in the world that doesn't know that South Africa exists, right? We have a rich history, a rich long ago history and a rich recent history. And within our communities, there's little aspects that speak to that history. There are museums, there are for example, in Soweto, they've made the absolute most of the homes of the struggle stalwarts, right? You can go and visit the home that Nelson Mandela grew up in and was living in, and that has been replicated across the country. So if you find places that are unique to your community, that have stories behind them, it's all about being able to tell the story and share what that particular place means to you as a young person in that community. African spirituality. This one is a very exciting one because all over the world, there's this awakening to alternative ways of life, to alternative ways of being. If you guys have Netflix, I don't know if your parents will let you, but if they will, there's a series called Goop Lab, which is produced by Gwyneth Paltrow, and she goes around the world to listen to how other people interpret different parts of being and spirituality. And African spirituality is something that is very, very unique, right? Chinese people have Chinese medicine, they have Chinese culture, and if you go there, they will teach you about all of these practices. But within South Africa, we're still not, this is a huge untapped opportunity from a tourism perspective. We have people in our communities who are healers. We have people in our communities who are mediums, whom we could start again creating experiences where travelers are able to connect with these people so that they learn more about your culture, learn more about what it means to be someone from that specific area. The next one is then traditional attire. Again, we've got beautiful different attire depending on where you are in the country. The Xhosa colors that are in the beadwork, the beautiful fabric that you can find down there. Same with the traditional attire in Limpopo, traditional attire in KZN, traditional attire in the Free State. It's all very different depending on where you are from in South Africa. And so we have an opportunity to start creating beautiful experiences where people can get immersed into our culture. Can you imagine, as a Zulu person, I come to the Eastern Cape and I have the opportunity for you guys to dress me up in the beautiful outfit, and then you take beautiful photos of me and we post those on Instagram, right? And while you're dressing me up, you're telling me what the different colors mean and what the different beads mean. That is a tourism experience. That is a tourism product. That is an opportunity waiting to happen, okay? And then finally, traditional ways of life. Traditional ways of life, an example of this one is uGogo Esther Mahlangu. Esther Mahlangu is a South African artist who is world-renowned for her artwork, painting the Ndebele village, the Ndebele villages and Ndebele style of painting. It's very unique to where she comes from. It's very unique to her people, right? It's a traditional way of life. It's a traditional way of being. However, Esther Mahlangu has drawn the world's attention to this specific talent that she has, garnering support and doing collaborations with some of the biggest brands in the world, where she's, I know, decorated even very expensive BMW cars and hotels and things like that, right? Our culture is beautiful. It's just a matter of applying your mind to how do I package this? How do I put this together as a new experience or a product, a new product that I can sell to tourists coming into South Africa, or tourists from South Africa coming into my province from somewhere else? So where do you start? I recommend today that you, as a young person, you take the free Tourism 101 for Experiences Entrepreneurs course on courses.zulunomad.com. That course will take you through all of the different types of new experiences and new tourism products that are being developed all over the world. You'll see examples of what a food tour looks like in Hong Kong. You'll see an example of what a walking tour looks like, and how to make a living creating free walking tours, right? You need to then consider which cultural and heritage experiences or new tourism products you would be interested in developing in your community. You need to consider who in South Africa would be interested in this experience. Is it people the same age as you? Is it people your parents' age? Is it people who are maybe of a different race than you? Maybe Indian people, I'm from KZN, maybe Indian people would be particularly interested in hearing about my family's history and the relationship that my specific family has with Indian people, right? So you need to consider who your specific target market is for this experience that you would be creating. And then you test it with friends and family. I encourage you guys to start as soon as possible with this part, because if you love music, if you create music, if you are a fashion designer, if you do this, if you do that, immediately you have an opportunity to actually start looking at, how do I start sharing my talent with my friends and family? And then from there, you will start to learn, okay, maybe I can start offering this as a priced tourism product for people to enjoy, because you would have learned what works, what doesn't work, and gotten feedback from a safe community of people. Thank you very much, everyone. I encourage you today to ignite your passion and consider opportunities where you can create an income for yourself in the tourism industry without being an employee, but being a business owner, by being a creator of new tourism product in this country. Let's grow the South African economy. That way we all have a role to play. Thank you so much, everybody. I now hand over to Mr. Heini Bosman, who is at the school in Knysna, and Heini is going to speak to us about youth and adventure tourism in South Africa. Thereafter, we will be having some presentations from the learners in Knysna as well. Heini, over to you.
Thank you, Paka, and hello, everyone. I hope you can see me. I'm just going to speak with you. Hi, can you guys see me fine?
Yes, we can, Heini.
How's it going? So, thank you so much for all the speakers. Thank you so much for all the talk. I'm going to chat to you guys a bit about youth and adventure tourism. And if a lot of people say youth tourism, I think they have maybe a wrong idea about what it actually is. Youth in tourism is not necessarily just young entrepreneurs. It's not necessarily just taking children on the road or youth from around the world on the road. It's basically both of that. If we say youth in tourism, it means it's young entrepreneurs with businesses, but it also means being taken up into the industry, but it also means not just young entrepreneurs, but youth travel, meaning your 18 to 35-year-olds, millennials, Generation Z, that want to explore the world and want to come see that. And what we as SASA and SATEC and youth operators and youth entrepreneurs offer is to come to South Africa, and we show them South Africa, and they experience themselves and become themselves within our country when you see the awesome things we have in South Africa. What I experienced as a youth travel operator within our industry, meaning travel facilitators, is our youth travel family, which started as SATEC, South African Youth Travel Confederation back in the day, now turned into SASA. We formed the youth chapter. And these are all young entrepreneurs between 18 and 25, maybe 35 years old like myself, that didn't want a real corporate job, that didn't want to wear the collared shirts and the ties, that didn't want to do my hair all the time, that didn't want shades and things on, but that actually wants to go have fun, have a road trip. Who enjoys a road trip? Yeah. Who enjoys stand-up paddleboarding? Yeah. Who enjoys actor? No. Bungee jump? Yeah. You know, that's what youth travel is. You know, hoteliers and hotels and accommodation and tour companies is all fun. But if you really take into essence what youth travel is, it's adventure, it's fun, it's bungee jumping, then doing a quick gin tasting, then having fun on the road, then stopping off somewhere for a sunset and have a nice braai on the lake. That's what I wanted to do with my life. And I figured out that if we just get people from overseas to come join us on the tour, I can make a living out of it. Does that sound nice? Yeah. Cool. So that's what youth travel is. What I also wanted to say is you don't have to have a massive degree. You can go study tourism. That definitely helps. But if you have drive and you have the love for the country that you want to share with people and to share with the world, then youth travel is where you want to find yourself, where you want to get a life and build a life. And it doesn't only have to stay around travel. I think Paka mentioned now, if you love food and cooking, you can build an experience out of it. If you love fashion, you can build an experience other people and youth would like. the youth from the world, what they would like to when they come into the country is to experience, to partake in their holiday. So for instance, what we as Rock the Root, I'm the founder of Rock the Root, and what we do as Rock the Root is we build experiences. So instead of taking in Knysna, there's Judah Square. Instead of doing a little tour with Brother Zebulon, we'll build a cooking class where you go in and Sister Nancy and Brother Peter, they show you how to cook the food and why they cook the food and share their culture. And the youth of the world and everyone taking part in that from across the world everywhere, they love that. They love experiences. So you don't only have to be, so per se, in tourism to enjoy tourism. Like I said, you can do dance classes and offer that. You can be a fashion designer and offer that as a tourism experience. You can love to swim and you can offer that as a tourism experience. Anything you really want to do, you can build as a tourism experience. So one of our famous hashtags from a while ago is "We are tourism." The whole of South Africa is tourism. Anything you want to do, you can basically offer as a tourism experience. So I'm not sure where our timing is standing, but I hope you guys sort of get where I'm coming from. If you love to bungee, if you love your outdoor lifestyle, if you want to share it with the world, if you're a musician, it doesn't really matter. You have a place in tourism and you can do that in tourism. Okay, you can see these guys, they're all excited about the outdoor lifestyle and everything, especially if you can get out the classroom a little bit. So we'll gladly welcome anyone to get in touch with us, get in touch with Paka, get in touch with anyone about through the panel, through SASA, through the aid committee. We'd love to have you on board. Now we've got a quick little presentation on Knysna, which some of the learners are going to do. They're just going to have a quick chat to you. And yeah, then I'll finish them around off. Over to you guys.
Good morning, everyone watching, and thank you for granting us the opportunity to represent our beautiful town, Knysna. Knysna is located between Cape Town and Port Elizabeth, and the nearest airport is the George Airport. Did you know that the name Knysna comes from the Khoisan language, meaning place of wood or fern leaves? Knysna was discovered by a British-born entrepreneur, George Rick, rumored in 1804. I'm Circus December, and today we, my fellow students, Evangeline Bavia, Andrea Harker, Zoraida Benjamin, and Justin Apples, will be giving you a few interesting facts about Knysna and what this beautiful town has to offer. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. I am Evangeline Bavia, and I will be elaborating to you about our culture, community, and heritage. Knysna destination show group. The culture and the food. 34 South and tapas are with cultivated oysters. The Oyster Festival contributes to Knysna marketing. Game and Spa outside of Woodmere Lane and Concordia Township overlooking town and Susan Harbour. We are a bird watching paradise. The Rastafarian Earth Festival, humble surprise, Jow works, bed and breakfast. We have beautiful beaches, art galleries, and museums. Our local selling fruits and vegetables, and definitely delicious coffee tasting at Serenity. Come explore whale watching, elephant interaction, paragliding, game reserve driving, and so much more. Ubuntu comes to life in Knysna. So come, close your eyes, take a chance and thrive. Growing and healing, absorbing your feelings. Thank you very much.
A very good day to everyone watching. I am Cheslin Apples, and I'm a proud learner here at Knysna Secondary School. So today I'm going to inform you more about Knysna and what it has to offer for you. So first I would like to start with the Knysna houseboat. Well, these boats are very fascinating and exciting to explore. You can go and explore it with your family and friends for an exciting, comfortable holiday. Then next we have the Knysna Elephant Park. Well, over the past 25 years, people have been visiting the elephant park, and there were supposed to start with, there were 500 elephants, but due to men's insecurities and they wanting to hunt and kill things, we only have 3 elephants left here in Knysna for people to have an own up-close encounter with. Thank you.
I'm Andrea Hawk, and I will be presenting Knysna's forestry. Knysna is an attraction on its own as well as its forestry. This is home to the indigenous Outeniqua yellowwood. and the remainder of the forest is protected by the Golden National Park, 300,000 hectares, which covers the Eastern and Western Cape provinces. The undisputed champion of this forest is the Knysna elephant and the Knysna loon. Many men and women have been fascinated by our Knysna seahorse, which is the pride of Knysna. I will be handing over to Zuraida Benjamin, who will conclude the presentation for us.
After the devastating April fires Knysna suffered in 2017, a lot was lost and demolished. We thought our hometown would never be its normal self again, but wait, it actually regained its vivid landscape and lovely greenery. What my classmates of the year forgot to mention is the Knysna zip line. How fun! The Knysna zip line is the highest and most unique zip line tour in Africa. Then we have Acro Branch. It's definitely a place to visit. The Acro Branch has exciting courses such as monkey moves, high fly, you name it. What's best about Acro Branch is their amazing offers, from birthday parties, year-end functions, family celebrations, and so much more. Then we have the lovely Knysna Waterfront. It's definitely a place to be and a place to see. The precious view and just the lovely peace. And do not forget the fountain as we enter the Knysna Waterfront. I speak of experience. I was part of many who participated by tossing in a coin, believing that the wish was granted, and it was definitely an experience to love. To conclude, I would like to say it's obviously clear that Knysna is definitely our pride. For more information, go to the website www.visitnysna.co.za. Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much, class. Can we hear it again tonight? Beautiful. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for listening to tourism. Sorry. Thank you for listening. Thank you for welcoming Knysna into your heart. And thank you for igniting the passion and listening to us today. We really hope you're inspired and really can see outside of just the normal box of tourism. It's not just suits and ties like Prince said. It's really much, much more, and you can build any experience you can think of into a tourism experience. I'm Heini Bosman from Rock the Route, and Tata, thank you so much. Paka, over to you guys again. Bye.
Thank you so much, Heini. Can you just confirm that you can hear me, because I'm not able to start my video on the side? Thank you, Donne, for confirming that.
Yes, sorry guys, we've got a quick Q&A.
Jeanette, if you can kindly put my video. Mandisa.
We've got a question from Sabon, if we can answer that quickly.
That would be great, Heini. Thank you.
Cool. We've got a question. Hi, if you guys can see me, we've got a question from Zingani. What is a hotelier? Zingani, a hotelier is someone that runs a hotel, either started the hotel themselves or is working in the hotel industry with the hotel. Obviously, you get guest houses, hostels, backpackers, farm stays, homestays, hotels. But a hotelier is someone working in the hotel industry, basically running and managing the hotel, organizing the guests that they have fun in the morning, or yeah, just placing them in the rooms and things. I hope that answers your question. Does any of you have a question about tourism? No. Oh, good. Clever tourism learners. Cool. Thanks, guys. Over to you.
Not working. Thank you for bearing with me while I try and get my tech to cooperate. Hey, good morning, everybody. This is Mandisa Makwatlaza. I am speaking from Gqeberha in the Eastern Cape, previously known as Port Elizabeth. You might all be wondering why on earth we decided to go from Port Elizabeth to being named Gqeberha of all things. Well, interestingly, Gqeberha is the name that originates from the original Khoisan language, and it refers to the beautiful and lush Barkens Valley and the history of that, which contains the Barkens River that flows from the Indian Ocean and runs through some parts of the city. So here we are from Gqeberha. I am coming live from Tsingani High School. I wish you could see the beautiful faces. Well, part of them, because they're all masked. So part of the beautiful faces that are behind me this morning, but it seems that we're having came to share with you this morning is about tourism destination marketing, as well as grassroots tourism and what it takes to develop grassroots tourism. It's important to highlight exactly what you see in your community and think about how you can share that with the world, and also how you could possibly turn it into things in your community that you think are interesting and that you don't find anywhere else, you know, just as Kaga and Prince and Heini had said. But I'm going to put that aside for a minute, and I want to share my story, because I am somebody that didn't study tourism, and it's very good to get a qualification that doesn't exempt you from studying, but I just want to share how dairy farms, and at the moment when you go past, you will see that there are mostly game reserves. The game reserves you find between Port Elizabeth and Grahamstown are places like Shamwari and Lalibela and Pumba, all very, very exceptional and beautiful and offering fantastic and farms that grew tobacco. There's still a few fruit farms, but basically that is what happened in that area. And so this is where I was born, and this is where I was partially raised, as well as in Port Elizabeth. But when it came to me being in high school, these game reserves were there, and I started working there on holidays. And when I was at university, at Rhodes University in Grahamstown, I also worked part and into work in the morning and put a smile on somebody's face just by making sure that their room was perfectly booked, that the dinner that they wanted and the time that they wanted to have dinner was there, and just ensuring that someone had a wonderful experience when they had spent so much money to come to South Africa to see our animals and stay in our accommodation. And as Prince said, one of the things that made me enjoy working on game. Sorry. We're so sorry about that. We just had a bit of an accident here, but nobody is hurt. And right, being able to share my culture and being able to share what happened in the region, to interact with a lot of people that worked at big, you know, in big hotels in Cape Town, and people that lived in Cape Town. And I really wanted to go to where the industry seemed to be hot, right? And for me at that time, this is now 2009, 2010, Cape Town was the hub, and still is very much the hub of tourism. And I didn't know anybody in Cape Town, but I knew I wanted to get to Cape Town. And one of the hotels that I dreamed about working at was the Cape Grace, which sadly at the moment is closed. Luxury and one of the most revered hotels in the world. And this was my dream, right? But I was get to Cape Town. I didn't know anybody in Cape Town. I'd never been to Cape. And this is purpose. I was in my early 20s. I think I was 20 years old. I'd never been outside of the Eastern Cape. I had never even been on an airplane. But what I did is when we worked on the reserve, we used to work for 3 weeks on, and we used to get a week off. So in November of 2009, I planned for my week off to go to Cape Town. I messaged a friend that I knew from university, and I said, I'm coming to Cape Town, please just make your couch ready for me. I'm going to sleep on your couch for the week. And what I did after that is I went and looked at all of the beautiful, beautiful hotels that I saw myself working in. Hotels like the 12 Apostles, which Prince mentioned earlier, the Cape Grace and the waterfront, all of these hotels, right? Because, I mean, I didn't know anybody. I emailed all of these hotels and I said, my name is Mandisa Makwaqaza. I'm currently working as a reservationist at a game reserve in the Eastern Cape. I am great with people. I'm great at communicating, but most of all, I really love hospitality and I want to experience working at your hotel. I'm coming to Cape Town from this day until this day. Can you please meet me, even if it is just to accept my CV or you know, share a site inspection with me or an interview. I sent this email to about 14 or so hotels. Can I tell you that 7 hotels got back to me? And by the time I left for my trip to Cape Town, I had appointments to go to each one of these hotels and meet somebody. When you send an email or you apply for a job, it doesn't guarantee that you will get that opportunity. But what gets you closer to getting the opportunity is getting up, walking to where you want to be, picking up the phone and speaking, right? So I had these appointments. I got on a bus, an Intercape, and I took that 12-hour trip to Cape Town. And girls, I put on my best houndstooth pump, you know, heel, and I looked and I knew this is where I wanted to work. I had an interview with 2 ladies who I still am connected with today. We had a conversation about myself. I didn't have a lot of experience, but I think they saw my passion, right? And passion is so important in the tourism industry because you're working with people, right? And passion starts with you. No one can teach you that, right? So it's so important to have passion. I think they saw my passion, and before the week was up, I had a second interview with the general manager, who at the time was Nigel Pace, right? So by the time I left Cape Town that week, I had securely, I believed, secured end of the week back to the Eastern Cape. And when I got to my desk on the Tuesday morning, that's when our shifts would start, I received an email with a job offer from the Cape Grace. And that for me is how I believe I broke into the industry, because the industry is out there. So even as you are a grade 12 or a grade 11 learner right now, it's important to get out there, because that's what tourism is, right? It's important to leave your comfort zone. It's important to explore, and in your explorations, share that with other people. That's how you even start. You're in Motherwell. You enjoy so many things about Motherwell. Share it with the world. So get out there and have a look. So that is how I landed my job, a job at the Cape Grace Hotel. And from there, I didn't just sit down and enjoy my job at Skull. Skull is an organization that, you know, people in the tourism industry, particularly hospitality, join so that they can network and get to know each other, right? And through this network and getting to know people, I met my next employer, right? So from that connect, from those meetings and meeting people, I met a lady by the name of Sumari Foster, who was the reservations and sales manager at the Steenberg. Now, the Steenberg is a beautiful wine estate and hotel, one of the most renowned in the wine area of Constantia, or beyond Constantia in Cape Town. This is also the creme de la creme of hospitality, and was a bucket list lady in this organization. I got to work there. Know each other. The tourism industry is so small because we all have one goal: for people to come to South Africa, right? And we all have a goal to work together and make sure that no matter which hotel a person goes to, they can say, wow, South Africa is amazing. And that is why you find that tourism, people know each other. They join associations so that they can network with each other, so that we're always on top of what will take our industry to the next level. That is why we are still so strong and hopeful and persevering, even though this is what is happening to the industry in COVID-19. So I've really developed a liking for marketing and sales. And as I am a writer, we share that link with you. You will go onto Phakamile Sazo's Zulu Nomad website. There is a digital marketer that has written that content. That is a job you can have in tourism. That's the job that I wanted. So my next step was to see, how can I make this happen? I didn't have the funds to study. So I thought, let me find a job where I can learn how to at booking.com. I emailed booking.com. I said, I know you are leading at the moment in terms of digital marketing for tourism and hospitality. I really would love to work there. This is the experience that I have. I'd love to join your team. I will do anything and work my way up. And a few months later, I first started getting hotels to join online. And so when you go onto booking.com today, which is a very important site for you to actually have a look at as tourism and consumer study students, to know what are the hotels that are out there, right? When you are marketing and selling a hotel, what is important? The photographs are there, the descriptions are there. And that is what I did in my first job. Made sure that everything you need to market a property was online. And from there on, as a writer and someone wanting to pursue a career in digital marketing, I worked towards becoming a content editor, someone who worked on creating the vast content of the website. And through that, I was part of the team that did the first guide for Cape Town on booking.com and mapped beaches throughout Africa. I got to travel internationally for the first time during that job. I went to Amsterdam very regularly, and through that opportunity, I got to travel internationally. And that is something that tourism does for you. You require to travel because it's important to know, like we just saw the beautiful presentation from Neisner, what is happening in other parts of the country, what is happening, a job of selling your own part of the world and selling your own product. So I worked at Booking.com. It was the best time of my life. I got to travel, and most importantly, I honed my skills on writing for digital content and presenting products online in online marketing. And this is what I've been doing since then. And I've worked for companies such as Classic Portfolio and Mantis Collection doing the same thing. And even further there, got more opportunities to travel into Africa because those companies were marketing products in Africa. And through being employed and working with these organizations, I got to go to and really seeing and exploring Africa. I got to understand even better what makes South Africa great, right? I got to see that it is, as Paga said, our ways are so unique, and it's important that we share them with the world. Now, with SATSA, Access, Inclusivity and Diversity Committee, we are working on making sure that when the tourism industry comes back into business again, we have more parts of South Africa to share with the world. We're working with grassroots tourism organizations, such as the Motherwell Tourism Forum, as well as the Wild Coast Holiday Association, and working with these organizations so that we grow the pie for tourism, that there are more businesses owned by young people, by women, by previously disadvantaged entrepreneurs, because we want to see that growth. The only way that we will have tourists in Motherwell is when you guys sitting next to me figure out what businesses and what experiences you can offer for people to give them a reason to come into Motherwell. At the moment, we're mapping Motherwell, right? Because as I said, if you don't know, you need to first know what is in the destination. And that's what we're doing with the Motherwell Tourism Forum. We're mapping it, we're making sure that people who, as tourism students, to figure out what experiences you can put on and market for people to come into Motherwell. And as SATSA with the Wild Coast Holiday Association, we are currently working with homestays. So Omama Abano Ronda, right? They are turning Oronda Babo into B&Bs. Yes, they're looking at me with wide eyes, and we are assisting them to do this, to perfect the business side of it, to know, what are the standards an international or a local traveler would expect when it comes to food. They will eat umusho, they will eat ulusu, but the presentation and the quality and the health and safety are the things and the skills that we are imparting. We also have some kayaking guys that grew up in the region, who've been in those waters and through those hills all their lives, right? They're there, they do it every day, but what they're doing now is they're sharing that with people. And that's what you can do. The things that you do on a daily basis in Motherwell, share it with people. If it's playing itiski, something that introduces people to the culture of Motherwell, and you can turn that into a business, right? And that is the work that we're doing as SATSA Aid, making sure that we grow the pie, making sure that there are more rural and township areas that are included in the tourism value chain, and making sure that we actually help people like the ones that are with me today, the kids at the students at Lingani High School, to be able to see that there are opportunities for them to actually create businesses in their areas and have people come into their areas and create employment opportunities as well. Thank you so much. My name is Mandisa Magwatlaza. I am done speaking for now. I want to find out, are there any questions? I can't see any questions in the chat. Tlingani High School, any questions? No questions. Okay, fantastic. So, as per our program, I would love to then hand it over to Natalia Rosa. If Natalia is online, Natalia will be closing the program for us since we do not have any further questions.
Thank you so much, Mandy. I will be closing the program for us today. Thank you, a huge thank you to all of our speakers, to Butopa Pelani, who did the welcoming for us today. Thank you to Tracy Daniels, who is here representing the UJ School of Tourism and Hospitality. Thank you to Prince Chira for his really great talk. Thank you, Heini Bosman. Thank you, Mandisa Makwataza. And a huge thank you to the learners who have joined our session today. Thank you to the Knysna learners for their presentation. Thank you to the learners in Motherwell. We wish you all the best of luck in your studies, and we look forward to engaging with you as you leave high school and go into university and get familiar with the industry. Connect with us on all of our social media pages, and all the best with your future plans in tourism and hospitality. We hope that you've had a very valuable session with us this morning. Bye, everyone.